Vision is something we rely on every day, without really thinking about it. It helps us move through life, learn, and connect with the world around us. But sometimes, what we take for granted starts to slip away. Nowadays, AI is becoming a powerful tool in medicine, especially for spotting early signs of disease that the human eye might miss. In this video, we take a look at how one dataset supports deep learning models that help protect vision. Let's take a quick look at what we are actually trying to understand and scan. At the very back of your eye, there is a thin layer of tissue called the retina. This part is made up of several layers of cells that work together in order to turn light into signals that your brain can understand. Basically, this is how you see. The signals go into your brain and you are able to view images or objects. But when something goes wrong with the retina, like retina thinning, or other issues like retinal swelling, it can affect your vision permanently. And the worst part, these changes are often invisible from the outside. That's where OCT or optical coherence tomography comes in. With OCT, we can get cross-sectional images of the retina with micrometer level of detail. The OCT scan procedure is non-invasive, quick, and doesn't hurt. Patients just look into a scanner for a few seconds. Doctors can then use these scans to detect early signs of diseases. One scan can reveal what the eyes alone cannot see. This is a healthy eye OCT scan. And here, you can see other OCTs taken for diagnosing retinal diseases like macular hole, subretinal fluid, and macular neovascularization. Globally, 3 million people are blind from retinal diseases. Even more, these people usually experience no pain and no obvious symptoms. Nothing feels wrong. But by the time they notice changes, the disease has often progressed and their vision is already affected. Doctors can spot changes before patients realize something is wrong with the help of OCT scans. But this requires lots of time, training, and focus from them. And that's where AI comes in. AI can help doctors spot the same patterns they look for in way less time. And when trained well, it can flag potential issues and speed up the diagnosis process. That's why high quality and well-labeled data is key. And that brings us now to the optical coherence tomography dataset for image-based deep learning methods. This dataset was created to advance research in artificial intelligence-based retinal disease diagnosis. This could potentially be a risk assessment process, stroke diagnosis, or even predicting an outcome. In total, the OCTDL dataset includes 2,064 OCT images, all stored in JPG format. The data was collected from 821 patients. Each one of these images is labeled with one of the 7 classes, including healthy retinas and 6 different retinal conditions like diabetic macular edema, age-related macular degeneration, epiretinal membrane, retinal arterial occlusion, vitreomacular interface disorders, and retinal vein occlusion. The dataset was published by researchers at the University Hospital of Erlangen in Germany, Ural Federal University, and Ural State Medical University in Russia. It is publicly available through Mendeley Data website. Thanks to its open access design, all researchers from all around the world can freely use the dataset, which is also supported by a very well-structured metadata file. This file contains scan-level details like image width and height, and also patient-level details, including their ID, eyesight, right or left, their gender, and year of birth. It also includes disease-related data, such as subcategory and condition. When data is unavailable in a column, it's filled in with zeros. One unique property of this dataset is that each image has multi-label findings. That means that one single scan can link to a diagnosis like age-related macular degeneration and has extra information that it's in early stages and that the eye showed drusen, which are yellow spots in the eye scan. Each one of the images is expert annotated by retinal specialists. What's also important is that the dataset includes both common and rare retinal diseases. This diversity helps ensure that the models can generalize well to real-world scenarios. The dataset is compatible with other datasets as well, like Germany's OCT dataset and Optical Coherence Tomography Image Retinal Database dataset. Finally, it has full support for the FAIR principles. It is findable, it is assigned a DOI and includes a rich metadata file. It is accessible, open for download. It is interoperable by enabling integration with various tools. And finally, it is reusable with detailed documentation and a clear license. But like any dataset, it has its limitations. With just over 2,000 images, its size is modest compared to massive public datasets, which might make it less suitable for training deep architectures from scratch. Also, all images were acquired using the OptoVu Avanti RTView XR device. Some models may not generalize well to images from different machines. Now that we've seen what the dataset is about, let's look at what we can actually do with it. This schema is exactly how a deep learning model views the OCT image. We use convolutional neural networks to extract patterns from OCT scans and classify them into disease categories. 4 models were trained on 60% of the dataset, were tested on the 30%, and validated on the remaining 10%. Alternatively, a 5K cross-validation was used to generalize across patients. This ensured a robust generalization across individuals. We trained the ResNet50, Efficient B0, VGG16, and MobileNet V2 networks using supervised learning. Each of these models learned to detect retinal diseases. In this graph, we show the trade-off between accuracy and computational time. As seen in the plot, each of these models come with trade-offs. While VGG16 reached the highest accuracy, MobileNet V2 was the fastest. In a medical context, accuracy is often prioritized over speed, as misdiagnosis can have serious consequences. To better understand the diagnostic strength of each model, we compare their ROC curves. The area under the curve shows us how well each model separates deceased from healthy cases. As you can see, ResNet50 performs best with an area under curve of 98.8%, followed closely by EfficientNet B0 and VGG16. A higher area under the curve means better clinical safety. In addition to accuracy, doctors need to trust the model's decisions. Most AI models work like black boxes. They give you a result, but you don't know why. That's why we use Explainable AI to make the model's predictions more transparent and to verify that the model is focusing on the relevant areas. This is important because we are not just saying that this scan shows signs of diseases, but we are saying that it shows why the model came to that conclusion. We use EigenGrad-SAM, an advanced explainable AI technique, to explain the predictions of the models. This technique highlighted the most important regions in each OCT scan that influence a decision, like retinal layers or fluid pockets. The OCTDL dataset is already being used in current research, and there's still a lot of room for new models, comparisons, and methods. Now, it's your turn to explore. The OCTDL dataset is open access and ready for you to dive in. Whether you are a data scientist, a student, or an AI enthusiast, there are countless ways you can work with this dataset to build something meaningful. The data is here, the tools are ready, and the retina is waiting for you.